My mom is the fucking hardest worker that I have ever met in my life. I've talked to her today and she explained this story to me many times, but this time she explained it. I don't think she explained it more, but I think I understand more because I'm older, right? So she was working in a grocery shop, not literally a grocery shop, but like selling meat products, and she was managing like the money in the firms and so on, and it was frustrating going home. If you didn't do something good, they could fire you, you could pay and all this stuff, right? And hands are actually bigger than mine, which is funny. My mom is not fat because she had swollen hands from working so much in that job, right? And by some chance, like her friend told her you should like be an something like a nurse. I don't know the exact term, but she's working on some like machines treating people with like some frequencies. I do not know exactly, and I don't want to tell bullshit. In Romania, it's called assistant BFKT, and I don't want to. But she's working right now in a medical field, right? And that woman, that friend of hers, recommended to her that she should work in this because it's easier, because you get more money, because you like this. She was reading a lot of books about this stuff. She liked medicine, and the school is like 2 minutes away from where we live. And she went there like he somehow saw like a job interview and shit like that, and she went here for like I think 3 or 4 years. So she had me. I was a kid, and for the first year it was easier because she was studying 7 or 8 hours a day at school and then at home, and she was literally taking care of me, right? But after that, she was working 8 hours, going to study 7 to 8 hours, and she had to like learn her stuff and take care of me. And guess what? He had a husband at home, right? So, and I don't want to say bad stuff about my dad, but my dad wasn't really going with her choice of becoming this. There are like some fights because he couldn't understand the fact that you have to go to school in this year after having kids and so on. But now he understands, right? So it was harder for her. But I was like, wait. So you are going 8 hours to work and then 7 to 8 hours to school, and then like you had me, like you had a child to grow, you had my father, and like you had time to like how. And I remember when I was like going to school, I woke up in the morning like fucking, it's too light and shit like that. And she was like learning through like a notepad. And I was like, every time I didn't question her, but I find it interesting, right? And I forgot about it. And now, as we talk, I understood that she was like a very hard worker. Okay, so let me continue. She She said she was waking up every day at 3 in the morning learning, and at 6 he had to go at work, and at 3 he had to go at school, and then at 10 she came home, and that's like repeating over and over. So she was sleeping between 2 3 hours, 4 hours, like between I think 1 and 3 4 hours every night for more than a year. I think like she had 2 3 years, and she said she only missed. Ah, yeah, and on the weekends she could sleep. Right, on the weekends she could sleep, but she still had to work in the weekends, which is unfortunate, right? And thinking about it is just fucking mind-boggling to me. Like, it's how many hours do you sleep? And guess what? She was the best one in the class. That's very funny. She missed just 2 days at school because I was sick like very sick, and she was asking like the teacher, and she was messaging her, what did you like learn the other people today? And she said, you are the best at eggs, like an example. We are just like going over again on this stuff. And like she took everything. She was like she had big pressure when he get her diploma and stuff. She make like an she had an I don't know, it's in Romanian is an pectoral angioma or something like that, but it's like a kind of heart attack, right? So she could have literally died when she was giving like her speech, her exam, like oral exam, oral test. And again, it's very mind. I was like what the fuck is this? Like, what pushed you to do it? Like, have you ever think of stopping this? She said literally, no, I wasn't going to stop. I never thought of stopping. And guess what? It seemed impossible from the outside, and to me it seems crazy, but she managed to pull it off. And one of the biggest reasons is that she was never thinking to back down. She was thinking, I have to finish this because I like this and I want to change my life, right? Even for her, it wasn't like $1,000,000, $100,000. It was probably like fucking $400-500, but just a different field that she like helping people and stuff, right? It wasn't like a big salary, but I always like liked about me like the hard work, right? And I had like a little bit of an ego. I was feeling good about how hard can I work in things compared to other few people, but not like a crazy part. But now I feel like shittier, right? When I think like my mom is this way, but it still amazes me. How the fuck, like, you never think about giving up? No, and that's the crazy part to me. She was so delusional. There is no way I'm gonna give up. And yeah, right now she's like 52. She has like some health problems, not like big ones, but she has like bad cholesterol. She's not in shape. She's not training, and she did a lot of damage in those years for sure. But sleeping that amount of sleep, doing so much damage to your body, and still continue to push forward for your goal, even if her goal didn't, she wasn't number one in the world, he didn't like do some extreme fucking stuff to for other people to see. In the when in the day she took the exam, she had like a fight with my dad, right? And she never told him that he had like that heart, like small heart attack or whatever it was, because he didn't care about getting recognition from him. And he's like, there is people in this like world that do crazy stuff that you don't even know them, and they may be walking around you and they may seem normal, but I don't know. The summary is that and how why I wanted to tell you this is because of course my mom is fucking great, and I'm realizing this just now. And I treated them a little bit bad, not because I'm a dick. I'm a dick, probably, to them, but not because I wanted them to feel bad, right? I wanted them to become better, to lose weight and shit like that. So I was like, just blatantly spoken to them, like swearing to them, but not in a bad way because I just want to make them feel bad, but I wanted them to change. But usually I get stressed about things, and just happen to like them to be in my way, and I say shit that I shouldn't say, right? And I make them feel bad. For example, they bought me today like 2 pairs of shoes, and I don't really like people like my parents buying me stuff, right? Because I feel bad. And I didn't like the shoes not because like they weren't like whatever fucking brand, but I wanted flat shoes like with this amount of heels, like they bought me this, right? I wanted like this amount, not this big, and yeah, they are pretty large, right? They are pretty large. I want my fingers to go like this, and the other pair is like the this thing is like this. It's not really flat like I wanted them like to squat and shit, right? To train in the gym, but I can wear them normally. And because I had this fixation, I usually like, because I couldn't find a cheap pair of shoes, I just wear like slips, like fucking, not shoes, but slips like those that you wear in the summer, right? Even when raining and shit like that, because I couldn't, I hated them, right? I wanted to feel the ground even if it hurts my feet, and I kinda was like talking down to them and bad, and now, and because I didn't want to wear them, and because I was like, oh my god, these are so bad and this and that, because I was imagining in my head that they are so bad, they wasted their money, and I was hateful that they waste their fucking money. And not because they try to buy me something, but because they waste their money. And after that, I tried them, and everything is good. I'm not perfect, but I am a little bit dumb, dick in this regard, right? I want everything to be perfect, and I am very self-critical of myself when I don't do stuff perfect, when it's not like 100%. And unfortunately, I cannot turn that off in the moment. It's not like a switch when I can be like normal and I be super critical. And because I'm super critical with myself, I I will turn to other people, right? When people show me transformations, for example, I'm always like that, yeah, but you could have done that better. Not because, again, I'm a dick, but because this is the way I look at myself. Not because I want to bully people or try to make people feel bad, but this is the way I look at myself, and it's hard to do things differently by having different people in my face, because I want to treat everyone the same, you know. But yeah, I have to learn how to talk better, how to, yeah, how to articulate, how to talk better, and the most important thing, how to not like be a dick when I shouldn't. How can I reward people for being actually good? Because my parents were trying to give me an actual gift, right? And I was like kind of dick to them. I apologize, and I don't apologize, right? Because I don't have to, but I apologize to my mom, because like I think this is like the first time in a while I like fucking really like apologize for something, because I really felt bad. I was a dick, you know. And yeah, I had my motives, but I could have just tried them and seen them and rejected them like better if I really want to reject them. But yeah, just ask your parents, talk to them, and ask them like, if they have the job, how do they started like working? And you'll realize your parents are probably like very, very interesting people. Unfortunately, of course, maybe they are not millionaires or bodybuilders or fighters, right? Maybe you aspire to be a great person in your field, and your parents aren't. But I think your parents are like, they, for a period of time they were very like great, but their focus was not on being great. For example, my mom was a very hardworking human being. I cannot think I can do the same thing as my mom, not even for $10 million, and she did it for like pennies, right? But for example, my mom was putting all this crazy energy in her goal, but her goal is not like $1 million or like being a bodybuilder and shit like that. So she was not great in my eyes, right? But now after hearing this story, I'm like, I cannot do that. I cannot fucking do that. I was at my breaking point in UK, sleeping very rarely 8 hours, but mostly like 5 to 7 hours for 5 months, working every day for 12 hours. It was like not breaking me apart, but pretty hard. pretty good in a way, but you know, it was. I don't want to, again. I don't want to say hard, but I was mentally a little bit pushed, right? But I can think of my mom doing this for pennies, for fucking pennies. So yeah, that's crazy. I knew that my mom had a very great memory, but I never knew that. And she learned like she was reading, and she never took. She said to me that she never took notes. She just read, and she was like reading very not carefully, but focusing on her reading, and she was imagining how things would have looked in her mind. Like for example, if you wrote, like if you read something, the red car in the rain, right? She was imagining the a red car in the rain, and this is how she could memorize a lot of these things. But yeah, this is what I wanted to say. I don't want to say I'm sorry, but I want to say that I will not try, I will improve, I will try to articulate my thoughts better, I will try to talk better, but I want to have my weekly rants, and my weekly rants, my daily rants, my whatever, right? I want to tell you some stories, tell you how I feel about them, not because I'm a pussy, because I knew that when I try to cry about it, I'm a pussy, right? But maybe, and maybe, if you like me and stuff, and you watch my stuff on how I think and what do I do, you'll maybe improve your situation and get motivated or do anything, or maybe you are going to get coached by me if you are out of shape. And again, of course, for me, money right now is very important and being a bodybuilder, but at the same time, what I want to achieve with all of this is becoming a better man overall, right? And if my I don't want my YouTube to be fucking just this place like very scripted and stuff. I think rants like this are very relatable to some people. I watch Dr. Todd. It's a guy on YouTube talking about steroids. You can just search like Dr. Todd Lee talking about Masteron or testosterone or GH. He's a very cool guy, and I like his educational stuff a lot. And I watch one of his lives, but playback, not like actually live. And I think that was like the most relatable. She was like talking directly to me. It's like so funny, so interesting. I heard him like a friend, you know, when he was talking. I was thinking he's beside me and he's my friend, and in my mind he's my friend, even if he doesn't know me, right? And yeah, I will try to post rants. I don't want to try to post. I will post rants. I will improve my English. I will improve how I am as a man. I will make more money. I will become a bodybuilder. I will do many things, right? And I will try to take you on this journey. And it's funny because not that probably nobody's going to watch it, but I think it's very interesting if I really happen to become a bodybuilder, a successful bodybuilder. People will look at me and see me as like this fucking god, this, oh my god, this fucking very successful man, right? And they will look on my Instagram there is too much posts, right? But they will look on my YouTube rants and they will be like, oh, he's just a kid who is very emotional, right? He's just a kid who had all this emotion, and he used this emotion for his goals. And if he didn't otherwise, he would have been self-destructive. And what a strange case, because I can relate to him. But you may do destructive stuff. Your goals may be different. My goals are different, and so on. But yeah, well, this is it. I don't want to take it further because I will just continued to yap for I think 2 hours, and anyway, nobody's going to watch it. But hey, if I became a bodybuilder, like a great bodybuilder, and you aspire to be like me, you probably can. But track everything that you do. Get a feedback, like after you track everything and you want your weight to be here and it's not here, it's here. You get feedback, okay, what can I improve to go there? And you improve and you check it again and do this over and over and over again. But yeah, this is this video.